welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation review and wear test, and I decided to do it even though I thought it might be a mistake. I am going to be trying and testing the new Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint, the foundation stick that just launched from her. I am a little bit nervous because this sounds like a very glowy product, and if you know me, I'm not fully into the glow, but I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm going to apply this with you, talk about the details, then check in with you outside in natural daylight about halfway through my day, inserting in some swatches as always, and then coming back at the end of my day and just giving you my first impression thoughts on this kind of no foundation stick, and just see what I think of it. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, I'm going to zoom you in and we're gonna apply this together. I'm a little nervous about this one, if I'm being honest. So here is what the box looks like. I know I'm not the first one to review this or anything like that. I picked up the shade 4. And this retails for $46 and comes in 20 shades. 4 is typically the shade that I've worn in Charlotte Tilbury foundations. I've tried all of them. I actually did a video ranking all of my Charlotte Tilbury foundations, which I'll link. But here's the component. Now I'm just nervous about this because I decluttered my Hollywood Flawless filter. It wasn't a product that I really enjoyed. And I just went back and forth because she advertises this as a foundation stick, but I'm hearing that's like very comparable to the Hollywood Flawless filter. I'm gonna try and go in with just an open mind. At the end of the day, curiosity got the best of me. So we're gonna try this out. It says sheer to light buildable coverage with a super natural soft glow. Natural's a little bit, open to interpretation, and this is also meant for all skin types. The packaging, while nice, does feel very light. I will say that. And when I'm looking on her website, everyone's blending it out with a finger. So while it doesn't say the best way to apply it, it seems like this is a product meant to apply with your fingers. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Now, as far as my skin type, I have a hair. Okay, I think I got the hair. As far as my skin type, I have normal leaning dry skin. I do get oily in my T-zone area pretty quickly throughout the day. So I prefer a light finish or a light coverage with a natural finish, but natural to me is not a glow, not a matte. It's kind of right in between there. So that's where I'm just saying like natural is relative to whoever you're talking to. But I'm just gonna get to applying this. I think I'm gonna start on one side. We're just gonna do a couple swipes and I'm just gonna blend because that's kind of how she made it look on her demo on the website. So I'm gonna kind of try and follow her instructions. Now I don't have any primer on. I just have my skincare, my sunscreen. I like to just get a good baseline of what this foundation can do before kind of adjusting further down the line and testing it more. And okay, actually, right now I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought this was going to be super highlighty. It is sheer, I will say that. I don't know if I necessarily want to build it. I don't know if you can really see that it covered anything from this side to this side. I'm playing around with my lights, so I feel like this side's a little bit more shadowy. I'm sorry about that. Doing the best I can here with wearing glasses. It gets a little bit tricky, but it did cover up some redness. I won't say it didn't cover up anything. Let's go to the other side here. Just quickly blend this out. And it's supposed to give you like that no foundation look. So it's to be expected that it's pretty sheer. Just kind of leave your skin looking healthy. That's kind of what I'm imagining. Now, people are saying that this is kind of replacing the Light Wonder from her line, because she did discontinue that foundation, which was the best foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, in my opinion. I didn't really enjoy the Beautiful Skin. I decluttered that. I do like the Airbrush Flawless Finish, but that is very, very full coverage. So that's not for everyone, but the Light Wonder was a good one, and I'm sad she discontinued it. So here's what it's looking like. You can see like where the lights are reflecting. It's definitely giving a glow, but I was much more expecting like a metallic glow. And I will say that I'm pleasantly surprised for how nervous I was going into this. It actually just looks like my skin's healthy. It looks like I put maybe like a tinted moisturizer on, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as I thought. I would have maybe like gone in with some concealer like on my nose here to cover some redness before going in with this. Maybe I'll do that next time when I test it out further and do like a more in-depth review on this. But for first impressions, I kind of just want to see what this does on its own and not have any products like affecting it. I'm pleasantly happy, and it was very quick to apply. I will say that. The shade 4 does match me fairly well, I would say. I'm overall pretty happy. I'm gonna go off camera though now, finish up the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna keep it pretty light, but kind of let this settle in, see how it looks with the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back to just give you my first initial thoughts. Rest of my makeup is on, and I have to say, I actually really like this. I mean, I really did not think that this was gonna be a product for me, quite honestly. Like I said, curiosity got the better of me, and I fully thought after I pressed purchase that I wasted my money, but I like how this looks. I mean, I try to go very, very light with my makeup. I did still use like a pretty full coverage concealer, but I try to really just precisely put it under my eyes. And then I did powder in my T-zone because I usually always do, even for a foundation wear test, just because I do get oily in my T-zone. But there's no powder on the rest of my face other than like the bronzer and blush, obviously. After that though, like I think my skin looks really healthy. It does look pretty light. I do wish still that I had gone over or under the foundation with like a little bit of concealer just to kind of pinpoint some spots that I have. I mean, relatively, like I have pretty decent skin. I know that. So it's not that big of a deal, but I'm liking this look. I mean, I feel like I kind of have like the supermodel thing going on as much as I can with like the slick back bun. I'm happy. I'm happy with this. We'll see how it wears. I mean, I would hope that this wears down naturally since it is so sheer. I did not build this up. I mean, you saw that I just really swiped it and blended it with my fingers. So it is the lightest coverage you could probably get out of this. I'll try building it up later, but I don't think that that's going to be for me, but who knows? Because right now I am just fully shocked at how much I actually really enjoy this product. So I am now just going to go on the rest of my day and check back in about 4 hours outside in natural daylight. All right, I'm going to make this update quick here because it's been storming for the past few hours and it looks like it's about to start up again. I think it's almost July if I checked the calendar, so I don't know what's going on with the weather other than global warming, but here's what the foundation's looking like. It actually doesn't look that bad. Granted, I've been inside pretty much the entire day, but I can still see it. It's still giving like a glow, but I don't look greasy. I don't look overly oily. So I'm happy about that. Like, yes, it's super light sheer coverage, but that's what they advertise this as. So I'm happy with that as long as it's what they advertise. I was just thinking that this wasn't that much of a foundation and it was going to be more of a glowy primer, essentially like Hollywood Flawless Filter in a stick. But this actually seems to be a foundation, so I'm pleasantly surprised. The wind is picking up here and it's starting to dribble. So here's kind of just a close-up of what it's looking like. It hasn't really separated. Like, yes, I can see it where my glasses lay, but really it could be much, much worse. I reviewed the Yensa yesterday. That video is going to be going up later in the month, but that one looked really terrible. So maybe I'm just riding off of a low, and that's why I'm not super just critical of this so far. But I think it looks nice, honestly. Like, I don't mind it. If you like a glow, like a subtle glow, you don't want a super glow, you might really like how this one wears. I'm going to insert in my swatches now and continue on throughout my day, probably clean my kitchen since the rain's keeping me inside, and I'm going to check back in another 4 or 5 hours. It's been 8.5, almost 9 hours. The lighting saga continues. I think I just am gonna go back to what I had because I can't figure it out. Now I have like this shadow under my chin. I'm not good at this. I try to do better, but I don't think it's as good as what I had before. About the foundation, you know, it's looking quite glowy. If you can see that, I'm going to take my glasses off so we can just kind of zoom in a little bit. It's looking quite shiny, not unlike a lot of foundations for me. Like I said, I do get oily kind of in the T-zone. I did powder my T-zone, but it's clearly broken through. For a glowy product though, I'm okay with it because I expected this to just be so much more glowy. I was expecting this to be like metallic. Like I said, I've heard some people say that this is just basically the Hollywood Flawless Filter in a stick form. And I don't know if I agree with that. I decluttered my Hollywood Flawless Filter. I just found it so metallic-y and reflective. This is glowy for sure. But I think if you go in with just a light layer like I did, use your fingers to blend it out, you don't build it up, I do think it's kind of like a no makeup foundation. I think it kind of does. I can see where Charlotte Tilbury was going with this. I am pleasantly surprised. Now, is this something I'm going to be reaching for every day? Absolutely not. This is like not my jam. But I could see myself kind of maybe using this, at least more than I thought I was going to. I am going to blot and just see how it looks afterwards. I don't do any kind of touch-ups, so maybe if I powdered a little bit more or just kind of touch this up throughout the day, I'd like it more. And I think I would, because the formula is so thin, I think you could blot this and it would look nice. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's so light coverage. Like, I don't know what is my skin and what's the foundation, but that's okay. It's wearing down naturally. It's not looking splotchy, and I don't mind it at all. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised. My pores don't look enhanced. My skin texture still, you know, it doesn't look emphasized or anything like that. So if this is a product you are interested in and you are also just nervous, if you have the same preferences as I do, where you don't like, you know, the e.l.f. Halo Glow, all those products, like I just stay away from those. But you wanted something that was a little bit of a light coverage and added some glow, like you might want to check this out. I don't think it's actually that bad. I will get some use out of it. I can tell you, like, I fully went into this thinking that I was going to return it, quite honestly. And I don't return products that often, but because I was teetering on even whether or not I wanted to purchase it, when she first announced this, I was like, no, this is not for me. I don't think I'll like this. And then curiosity got the better of me, so I ended up purchasing it. And then I had instant regrets, like, oh no, I just wasted $50. If I really hate it, I'm just gonna return it, but I do like it. I do like it. It's not as good as the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. Like, please, Charlotte, bring that back. But it's a nice change from what she had in her lineup, because right now, you know, she's counting the Hollywood Flawless Filter as a foundation. She kind of did like comparisons, but between the Airbrush Flawless Finish and the Beautiful Skin, like, this was well needed in her lineup. She needed a light coverage option, and this does it for you. Do I wish this had like a smidge more coverage? Yes. And a smidge less glow? Yes, but I think it fits her aesthetic. I think she did a good job with this, actually, and I'm not hating it whatsoever. So let me know your thoughts down below. If this was something you were kind of interested in, are you also someone who shies away from super glowy products? I would love to know your thoughts, plus your skin type, because that also just helps everyone else out. If they don't have the same skin type as me, they can check the comments down below and see what other people with different skin types are thinking. After that though, like, that's really all I have to say for this review. I hope that it was helpful. I hope the swatches were helpful. This is where I'm gonna leave you all though. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.